Luna Lovegood, the witch. She was born on the 13th of February in 1981, and she was either a pureblood or half-blood, as we are not sure of that known. She was married, also known as Luna Lovegood, as a lot of people would like to take the mickey out of her. And for one game, she was the Quidditch commentator in a Gryffindor match versus Ravenclaw. She was a female, and her hair colour, as a lot of people pronounced it, was dirty blonde. She had a pale silvery skin colour, and she had bluey green eyes, as it was described. Her family members was her father, Xenophilius Lovegood, her mother, who unfortunately died when Luna was a little girl, called Pandora Lovegood, and then later on in the year she would marry Rolf Scamander, and they would have two children with them, two boys, Lorcan and Lysander. And Newt Scamander, who we most know from Fantastic Beasts, is the grandfather-in-law, and Porpentina Scamander, or Goldstein, was the grandmother-in-law, who would marry Newt Scamander. Her wand is unknown, or two of her wands are very unknown. She was a magizoologist, which is like kind of looking after animals, which isn't surprised, as she did look after a lot of Threstrals, which we did see in the Harry Potter movies, didn't we? She was a Ravenclaw, and she was a very good Ravenclaw. She was very loyal to the people. She was in Dumbledore's army, which was the likes of the good people. There was a few Ravenclaws and a couple of Hufflepuffs, no Slytherins, of course. And she was kind of part of the Order of the Phoenix, which she battled in the Battle of the Ministry to help them against Lord Voldemort. And she liked having a newspaper with her that her dad was one of the writers, called the Quibbler, in which she would read it sat down, or upside down shall I say. Now going about her child life. Her mother accidentally died while experimenting with spells, and Luna was 9 and had to be raised by her father in what we described a rook-like house near the village of Ottery, St Catchpole in Devon. It was between the years of 1992 and 1999, where she was of course sorted in the Ravenclaw house, in which we did not see much of her, or she did not get mentioned until their 4th year. Until Luna's 4th year, I apologise. And she would become a friend of Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, Ron Weasley, and also she would become a friend of Neville Longbottom and Ginny Weasley. She participated in the Battle of the Department of Mysteries as well as the Battle of the Astronomy Tower in 1997. And when the Hogwarts school came under control of Lord Voldemort, she helped constitute Dumbledore's army once again. But because of her father's political dissidence, Luna was taken by Death Eaters and was held in the Malfoy Manor for quite a long time, who she would be with Garrick Ollivander. Dobby the Owlself would fed her, as Harry and Ron would help them out in what they thought was a very noble job to do. And she stayed at Shelter Cottage, where she would be with Bill Weasley and Fleur Delacour, until she returned to Hogwarts for the final battle of the Second Wizarding War. During her years at Hogwarts, she was often seen teased by a lot of students, mainly Slytherins, for her behaviour and odd beliefs. Sometime during her years at Hogwarts, they had also of course taken her as Luna Lovegood. Luna also met and become friend of Ginny Weasley, which she would of course keep her for the rest of her life. But in summer 1994, she went to the Quidditch World Cup with her father, which didn't get mentioned, but she was there. In the third year, we're not too sure at Hogwarts, but she likely chose divination as an elective, as in the 1996 to 1997 school year, Professor Trioli claimed to miss her in class. Luna explained she had frenzy that year. She may have also attended study of ancient runes, as before the 95-96 school year she is seen reading an article written about runes in the Quibbler. In her fourth year, Ginny Weasley would eventually introduce Luna to Neville Longbottom. And in Luna's fourth year, which was in the Order of the Phoenix, when they met in the carriage, Harry Potter, Ronald Weasley, Hermione Granger, and Neville Longbottom. She believed that Harry was, of course, right about Lord Voldemort returning, as a lot of people disregarded about what he said, and that he once again fought Lord Voldemort again. As the year progressed, she was invited to the Defense Against the Dark Arts group called the Dumbledore's Army in defense to try and defeat Umbridge and the Ministry. And Harry would, of course, be their teacher. She, of course, accepted because she wanted to have some more company and try and make some more friends. While later on, she was saw to make people believe about Harry's story when Hermione Granger interviewed Rita Skeeter at Three Broomsticks. Luna accompanied them as to persuade her father to publish the interview in the Quibbler, in which she said that my dad doesn't know what's happening. The Quibbler has never sold this much. It sold quicker than the Hornish Snowback Shanks. As they found out or thought that Sirius Black, Harry's godfather, was taken, Luna and the others would go on festivals in which Ron, Hermione, and Neville all thought that was very weird, but they took by it as that was the only way that the 60A members could go to the Department of Mysteries, where, in the veil, Luna could hear the voices just as Harry did. The group was soon ambushed by 12 Death Eaters. Moody and Tonks helped Luna against a couple of Death Eaters. Luna guided both the injured Ginny and the confounded Ron until they met with Harry and Neville. Luna was one of the last DA members to fall, eventually being stunned by a Death Eater and thrown across the room. She regained focus just before the end of the battle and survived relatively unscathed. At the end of the school year, Luna spoke to her. Luna, in her fifth year, would share a compartment with Harry Potter and Luna Lovegood. As they did not know, they thought that they were not good enough to be sat with him, saying that everyone's looking at them just because they're with Harry, which was definitely not true because they were very trustworthy friends. Towards Christmas, Luna confronted Hermione after Ron mocked her in Transfiguration, and Hermione ran into the girls' bathroom in tears. Luna had found Hermione crying, and Harry had been looking for Hermione to return the books she left in Transfiguration class. And later on, he would be able to give them to her. Plus, Zachariah Smith, as we mentioned, as Quidditch commentator for the school. Many found Luna's commentary terrible and annoying, as Luna forgot players' names and went off on tangents such as speculating that Smith, was suffering from loser's allergy. or saying how a cloud was interestingly shaped. She never actually reported the score, as Professor McGonagall, the Gryffindor head of house, had to say it every few minutes. However, at this point, and he was, of course, a very nice person to meet, and Luna would give him information about the diadem. Hermione Granger was also a close friend. They may have not had an ideal first meeting where Hermione, being opinionated, would say that the Quibble was rubbish, in which Luna would think as if she hadn't heard her. Hermione tried to kick Ron for teasing Luna, and later defended her again for the insults of the portrait of Phineas Nigellus Black. Hermione was among the portraits Luna painted on her bedroom ceiling, circled by the words "Friends". Luna, Hermione and Ginny Weasley fought together against Bellatrix Lestrange, Voldemort's most powerful Death Eater, trying to destroy her. Ron Weasley, another close friend. She regarded as Ron Weasley, saying very funny things, and he is a bit unkind. I noticed this last year. But at the end of Dumbledore's army and at the end of Battle of Hogwarts, they would also stay in contact, because they were probably meant to be friends. Luna Lovegood may have not been the best character, but she was one of the simply gifted characters. Ginny Weasley, probably one of her best friends, saying that, "I do like her, she's very nice." Luna and Ginny did get off to a good start, a very great start indeed, as they were very passionate to each other, and they got on quite well, especially as Ginny always was defending her. Once in the Quidditch match, Luna, after she would go into commentating at the Quidditch team, she would help Luna in hope that she would learn, in which it was very good of her to go into the commentating box of Zachary Smith in hope that he would stop and apologise to Professor McGonagall in saying, "I forgot to break Professor, sorry." But Ginny and Harry did name their daughter after Luna, as I have said already, considering Luna is a dear friend. Indeed, Ginny insisted Luna to guide Harry into Ravenclaw Tower over Cho Chang, confidently trusting her to not incite any clash of romance as Cho might have. Neville Longbottom, one of the best friends of Luna, and Neville did fall in love with her, but it didn't work out. They first met in the Hogwarts Express in 1995. Neville found her a bit odd, as he was a bit odd himself. But at some point they did become very close friends, probably in Luna's 6th year at Hogwarts, and Neville and Ginny reformed and co-led Dumbledore's army in order to oppose the Carrows. And the final one, as we get closer to the end of this, is Dobby, her friend. Luna did like the house elf quite a lot, as I think a lot of us did, but we do have to say that his death was one of the worst timings ever, as I believe that he was killed by his co-owner Bellatrix Lestrange, which was definitely very unfortunate, in which it all kicked up the backside when it happened. But she regarded him as a best friend, not only for saving him, but how he was to her and to the rest of everyone else. And that was Dobby for you. He was kind, he may have had to punish himself, but it wasn't his fault the way he was. And guys, this has been the life and story of Luna Lovegood. This may be a very long episode, but I don't care guys. Luna she is a great character, and I have put a lot of effort into this video. I don't know how long it'll take me to edit. At the moment it's 27 minutes. I'll see how far I can cut it down to, and hopefully we can smash the views, because in the first two videos we got 20 views and about 14. I am happy. So I may only have 2 subscribers, but I'm very happy how this is going. So guys, try and spread the community. Like this video if you can, if you have stayed this long to watching it, and I shall see you for the next video in a couple days time.